Let us sit in a moment of appreciation. Feeling the benefits of meditation and seeking to integrate them fully into mind and body, beginning at the crown of the head. Feel that at the crown there is divine light, a warm golden or white light that can expand over the crown of the head and fill us from head to toe, just flowing down into the body, into consciousness, the light of spirit, flowing into us and filling us completely. Feel your mind to be clear and bright. Your entire body, every cell, revitalized, renewed. Feel your heart to be open and at peace, knowing that Spirit is everywhere present, is in you, acting through you and as you in this very moment. May we know this truth for all people expressions of the one infinite life, expressing through mind and body. With that awareness, may we know that all healing is possible and actively happening everywhere. The wisdom in the human body is healing now. The wisdom in divine mind is healing right now. May we see the struggles between individuals and within ourselves as temporary, and know that all life is unfolding toward its highest good. Take a moment within yourself to offer your prayers for those who you feel could use a blessing, those close to you, those you don't know, for yourself and circumstances in your life. Let us seal our time of meditation with chanting Om, sacred sound, and send this healing vibration to all points in the universe. Peace. May our thoughts be aligned with Dharma, our speech aligned with Dharma, and our heart and actions aligned with Dharma. And so it is. Om Shanti, peace. Amen. Between last week and this week, we were reading on in our study books up to, I think we're up to verse 11 or 12 as of this week, as of this morning, and we've set it up so that our study is sit with the Gita after meditation if you can and read a portion of what's on the schedule, and with flexibility. So, some of us were away for the weekend, and some of us were involved in the organization of the event. So I got to have one of those retreat days with my Gita study. And this section, which is the very, very beginning of the epic tale, is laying out what is happening in the field of the mind-body, and the blind mind that cannot truly see or has its spiritual eye closed is asking its support to explain what is going on in the field of mind and body. The characters are being described in this section, all of the players on the field, and they are all of the aspects of us. All of our tendencies, all of our inclinations, all of our aspects that are involved in this battle or struggle with higher mind and ego mind. In these particular sutras, they're sutras also, but these verses, there's a beautiful description of why the struggle is happening in the first place. And I think of the phrase that comes from many places, but is often quoted from the Bible, is why do I do what I don't want to do and don't do what I want to do? Explain to me why. We ask our higher self, we ask the divine to offer insight into that question. Why am I motivated by ego in such a strong way? And in this section, the character of Drona, who is the wise teacher, who has taught both armies, is representing samskaras, is representing the patterns that have dug a groove in our mind, in our consciousness, and we keep falling into these same patterns. Over the weekend, Yogacharya offered a great teaching on this in particular, about how our habits are formed and how we continually keep returning to them, and we can't seem to get out of that rut. We just keep falling into it. So one of the things that was offered in the commentary for the verses that we read is that these samskaras, while they strengthen ego by being repeated and leaving within us this memory of these behaviors, this memory is, I would say, is like a memory of a pleasure, like having that ego desire fulfilled. So we want to do it again because of the so-called good feeling that we have when we do that thing. Think about anything that you enjoy on a sensory level. You want it again if it gives you that fleeting happiness, right? And the symbolism of the players on the field that are of the camp of higher mind. Higher mind is more powerful, no matter how many soldiers are on the side of ego. The soldiers on the side of higher mind are ultimately more powerful, even if there's only one, because ego relies on changing conditions. Ego relies on limited powers. And higher mind is fueled by the eternal and infinitely powerful. Therefore, if you pit those two against one another, higher mind's going to win because it is lasting and it satisfies at the soul level. Not at the level of mind and body, but at the soul level. And there is no comparison for that. There is no opponent that can top that. Also, Drona, the storehouse of memory, the samskara maker, not only creates this groove of repetitive behavior for ego mind, it also sets a groove that we fall into repeatedly for higher activities, for more constructive activities. So the more we give attention to one or the other, the more we will have a tendency to go with one or the other. So if we witness that we are in a state of willingness to practice, let's say we're feeling like, I feel strong, I feel like I'm strong in my practice, I feel like I can meditate today. If we do it repeatedly and do not give in to the excuses that come up from ego, we will be more likely to continue to do it because we start to set a pattern of success in our practice. So sometimes we think about some scars and we only think about the negative aspect. You know, some scars are always given a bad name. You know, oh, those are some scars of, this or that, and I keep doing this or that because I've set a groove of pattern behavior. Remember, it works both ways. So when you're doing the thing that you want to do, remember that you're setting yourself up for success by repeating that tomorrow and repeating it the day after. And just know that just as your ego tendencies have gained strength, they will be weakened by your repeating the positive things that you want to do. And when you have that in mind, I think you'll be more inclined to do what you know you should do. Because you'll say, oh, if I just do this a few more times, it's going to be so much easier to do, right? Remember that you're setting that pattern. So you can see the characters on the battlefield of your life and give attention to higher mind's activities, higher mind's inclinations. Yeah? That really helped me. As I was thinking about that when I was reading, I thought, oh, it seems so simple now. Just do what I know I should do and do it again and again and again, and then it won't be difficult at all. It'll just be what I do. It sounds easy, right? But, just keep in the forefront of your mind, you're setting positive samskaras in motion. You're laying that foundation so that you can end the struggle. Yeah? So, whether or not you are up to speed with these verses, whether you've come all the way up to today's verse or not, just keep studying and journaling how this is informing your daily life. I'd love to hear from you any insights that came from your study this week and how it's going. It's just the beginning, and this particular section is very heavy with the setup, and it starts to move along a little differently very soon. Not that it's not enjoyable, but just so you know, it's not necessarily this heavy in reading and commentary throughout. And sometimes it is, but once you get in the groove, it's quite nice. All right, so I open the airwaves for you to offer anything that's struck your wisdom for this week's study. And the ground rules, as always, are in place to allow one another to just share from the heart, and we listen from the heart without commentary on what anyone has said, whenever you're ready.